Nick, Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. All right, we good. We up. Hey, man.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Let the Madness Begin. William Coleman, my Sean Taylor. It's a beautiful day outside. It's been warming up. It's summertime dresses, baby oil girls, you know what I'm saying? Um, Water, you know what I'm saying? Um, Bikinis.
He's thinking of stuff. Sundresses, bikinis, what else?
Yeah,
Open toe shoes.
Open toe shoes. Look video.
Look videos. Oh, okay.
How's it going, man?
And another day after work. Another day on the job.
Yeah. So today I brought up a topic which is, do we take our lives serious?
Good question.
And what really made me think about it was, if you knew today was your last day, how would you perceive or how would you move forward? I was watching this movie called How It Ends. It's the dumbest movie. Well, not the dumbest. I've seen dumber. However, it was an interesting dumb movie because it was a take on the last day on Earth. And apparently, because it was the last day on Earth, all humans had a heightened sense and they were able to see their younger versions. And their younger versions were with them the whole time, talking to them and everything.
Right.
So it follows this character, female, who had her younger version with her. And throughout the time frame, her younger version is telling her, you have me, and the girl, the older version was like, I screwed up my life. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And it was pretty interesting on that part. But throughout the movie, it was people who just say, you know what I got to lose? I'm going to do what I wanted to do. Like this teacher, she's like, I always want to be a comedian. So why not today? So if we took our lives serious, will we actually live our lives? Will we take it? Will we do it?
No, you wouldn't live your best life. A lot of us wouldn't. A lot of us wouldn't. Because a lot of us sit there and second guess themselves. A lot of us do. A majority of us second guess ourselves. That's why they say only the 1% are successful at achieving their dreams. Because the other 99% either doubts, second guesses, or just gives up on it altogether.
Okay.
So my thing, that goes back to the thing I asked you. So if I wanted to be a rapper, why not today?
I agree.
So you'd buy my album. Also, you heard that one track I put out?
I wouldn't.
These your artists. Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Because you would give me a free copy.
Okay, I'll let you slide. Good cover. Like that. Okay, all right.
Now, I would buy. I probably would get a free, but I would still buy. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Good cover. I like that. At least, just you had me go for a minute. Okay.
No.
But I got you. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
But I think that's the thing, because you often think back a lot of times. It's sort of like the whole multiverse thing we think about. It's like that one decision takes you in a whole different direction. But if you just stand on that one road where it would lead, where it would have led you,
right?
You never know. Not unless you with Doctor Strange or the Ant-Man or whoever, or Avengers, you go back and
change everything.
Yeah. But we I think when it comes to, say, taking our lives seriously, I think in the beginning, if we don't realize how life really can be, we don't set ourselves to drive the way we should be driving ourselves.
Okay. So for you, it's the fact that, because they say when you're a child, you can be anything because you have no limitations.
Exactly.
But the more and more you go through life, the more and more you hit with the limitations of life, and that kind of hinders you from either reaching your full potential or living the life that you want to live.
Or that you should be. There's a possibility you could be living.
Okay. So maybe the question I should ask is, yes, do we take our lives serious, but do we take it serious enough to actually see our dreams through?
Oh, that's still enough for that small percentage. Now, the question is, what is going on with your camera, sir?
I have no idea. This is weird.
It's the Matrix talking. So,
bruh, I don't even know. Like,
I don't know. People are waiting. People are coming to woke now. That's weird. Oh, okay. Hello?
is it still there? That was crazy. Sorry. That was crazy, y'all.
It is black.
Yes.
Oh, we're still in the air. But yeah, man. So we and that's in anything. But I mean, there was this one time I was in a thing called, what was it? It was basically like we call careers class with what is the lady's name? She was an older white lady. She was the nicest lady in the world. She used to talk about the many lives you live in that one life. You know, the many things you could be. You know, you never have a possibility of just being a one thing.
Right.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, as long as you give everything. And she said it was never wrong to go from being a hairdresser to being a fireman. You know, or going from being a fireman to president of the United States. You know, anything is possible. You know, but as long as you take pride in them part of like see careers / lives that you lived at each one of them times, you know, and even though it may not be the one thing you wanted to do, you know, you live it to the fullest. So when you do look back, or when they do speak upon your life, because one time she actually had us do an obituary.
That's actually dope.
An obituary, and then what your tombstone would say. And I think my tombstone was going to say, he did all and everything possible to himself. I don't know if, yeah, within something like that, something like along the lines. It was a cool class, man. And I always keep that in the back of my mind when I think back sometimes. You know, it's time, what's the next thing going to be? You know, because you know, been a soldier, that's about to wind down. What's the next step going to be? You know, what's the next adventure? What's the next thing for William Coleman? You know, maybe looking at it right here, you know, video blogger, vlogger, whatever you want to call it, you know, you never know, man. You know, soon to be rapper, you know.
Ain't no wrong with that.
I ain't playing. You know, you never know what we got coming up next, man. But you know, but it's always something that, you know, like we said, your dream may not be the whole. Actually, they said you may not be that basketball player, but you might become that coach, assistant coach, the you call the guys that works the locker room, the athletic, the equipment manager. You know, you never may know.
No, I agree.
Broadcast or something. So I mean, it's all in what you make of it. You know, and you take pride in what you make of it. When you attempt, you know, because like I said, sometimes the attempt is just as good as the result, if not better. You know, so
okay. Because when I was looking at it, and I was, you know, when I watched that movie, when I finally got past the part that I was like, man, this is a dumb movie. I love the premise of it, because unlike most movies that, you know, give you that subject, they, you know, everybody's running around trying to get effed up, crazy,
right,
doing all that, and in the end, that's what, you know, they end up doing anyway.
Right.
And Pauly Shore was in there.
Oh yeah.
And it was made in 2021. So and Pauly Shore was in it. Yeah, Pauly Shore was in
What's
there.
the name of the movie?
How It Ends.
How It Ends.
Yes, it's a crazy movie.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about now. Isn't that one with Leonardo DiCaprio in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a different movie.
No, this one, It has some actually does have some famous people in there. It really does.
Okay.
But it's a comedy. I think that's lead girl. She actually wrote it.
Okay.
But to sit there and to say, you know what would you say to your younger self? How would you view it? You know, because you brought up something, living many lives. Even though you may have been dealt a hand that wasn't favorable, could you possibly say, you know what, I can flip it?
Right.
If you had the opportunity to talk to your younger self, do you think if most of us had the opportunity to talk to our younger self, do you think that would change us? Because if you look at it, if we valued our lives, if we value what we was doing, if we value just knowing that tomorrow may never come, will we really actually push ourselves? Not just in monetary, but maybe in our relationships with people, our marriages, our everything. You know, will we actually give our all because we may not see tomorrow? Will it compel us to actually want to be the best version of ourselves every day if we realize that today is really not promised, or tomorrow is not promised, rather?
True. Now, it would be a different world if everybody put their best selves forward every day, regardless of sickness or health, poorness or wealth, everything we can think of on the positive tip. It would be different. It'd be an interesting time, even for just a day.
All right.
Even just for a day, you think about it. Everybody put their best self forward from one end of the earth to the other, from top to bottom. Any way you can think of, it'd be oh man, be to be a utopia for a day.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I think we'll cherish everything we do because be knowing that you have the opportunity to change where you're at, because you said, you know, live many lives, you know. And I know sometimes when life deals you a hand, you feel like you just got to stick with what provides, and you just give up your everything just to make sure you provide. And I get that, because at
right.
the end of the day, you know, despite what we think, we have to have the basic necessities to live. And unfortunately, we don't live in a society where everybody's out there making it. So, you know, you have to make the money for it. So I can't
Right.
knock anybody for that. And so you end up giving up on dreams. But if you had the opportunity to invest back into your dreams, even if it was a sacrifice as far as giving up maybe an hour or two of sleep at night, do you think more people would do it?
Ooh, most people. Maybe a bigger percentage of people would, but I still think the majority of people wouldn't. Because a lot of people fear the unknown about what's around the corner. You know? Let's say you go down that dark alley and on the other end is your true destiny.
Right.
A lot of times it's based what life is. You know, instead of you making that left and going down this, dimly lit street way alley, you
Right.
know, you say to stay on the lighter road. You know, like you say, instead of walking in the unbeaten path, or the less taken path, we stay on the path that everyone is taking.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I think a lot of times the first thing a teenager wants to be is a rapper or a basketball player.
You know, we're going to talk about that
I mean, the
in
things
this
that
segment.
things that are very accessible now that oh, okay, anybody can, I mean,
We're gonna talk about that because I think something's happening, and I think it's crazy what's happening.
okay,
But as far as you know, I was thinking about, for me, like the journey that I'm about to enter. It wasn't the easiest choice to make because I'm giving up a lot, and I had to actually have a what they call a kind of Jesus meeting with myself. It was me, my ego, and everybody else at the table. We sat down there and we all was talking, and I was like, "What y'all think?" And of course, the ego's gonna always say no because the ego is always want no because look where you at, look what you have, look what you're going.
because you want to stand upright at all times.
Exactly.
Look weak. Understandable.
And then I was shot something right. I say I was given a test. Then I was given the opportunity to be at Fort Dix. Like new position and everything. Like came right to me, bam, talent management. Came down and said, hey, you meet the requirements to be in that position. I was like, man, I was like, oh. So it was like, man, look, they're recognizing you for your skills. You're doing good in your job, and look, you're being rewarded. And it's like, well, no, I have to take the chance. And I made a decision with myself on this one. And I think this is how I'm gonna start moving forward in life. No matter how it pans out, I have to be okay with the decision of doing.
Right.
And I think that that's where a lot of us fail is the fact that we already think failure instead of saying, you know what, just accept what comes with it.
And I think that's the issue everybody has. Go ahead and finish though. I'll jump off that, but go ahead.
Because I was looking at let's say for instance, you know, you help someone. You don't help them because they can pay you back. You help them because of the kindness of your heart.
Right.
If they pay you back, that's a bonus.
Right.
But if they don't pay you back, you kind of accept the fact that it is what it is. And that's how I think we should do our decisions now. We should do it that way. And that's how I think I'm gonna start doing my decisions. Like, hey, make the decision to at least attempt it. And if it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. This is crazy. I have no idea what's going on.
Matrix is speaking. Don't pause it. Please keep going.
So that's how I feel. And so I don't know. That's just how I think we should do it moving forward.
Just like we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on with this camera, it's gonna keep rolling. But you can hear us. That's all that really matters at this moment. So as long as you hear the voices,
this is crazy. Like I hope y'all don't see what we see. I pray y'all.
I'm pretty sure they see what we see.
This is crazy. I do apologize.
The Matrix has spoken.
I have no idea what's going on.
Watch tomorrow. We decide to record. We're not gonna be able to get in. We're speaking positive and we're black. That's the issue.
This is crazy. Oh man.
But I mean, still, with that being said, and I think a lot of times, like you said, in acceptance, the acceptance of the possibility of failure, the possibility of being successful, and then you have the possibility and the acceptance of that, and then will it be accepted by everybody else that you might be more successful than them? Because a lot of people get scared of that kind of thing because they don't want people to look at them as a sellout or somebody who forgot where they came from. But like, what do you expect to come with success? You know, you're supposed to live in the same apartment that you did now that you got millions of dollars in your account, or not even say millions. You just live comfortable enough to where you're not worrying about your bills being paid. You know they're getting paid. You know, You know you can wake up at any time to go to work, or you can wake up to say, you know what, tomorrow I'm just gonna go on a trip somewhere. You know, these are the things, and a lot of people gotta figure out what's important to them, because that would be the most important to me. Like, hey, that is one of my goals. So I'll be honest with you, that is one of my goals. I want to get to the point, regardless of what age I am, that look, I got steady income. Necessarily, hey, I may have something I have to go to, but at the same time, it can run on its own. I have people in place to keep it going. Right. I can wake up at any random time and go to where I need to go to make sure that, hey, the checks are still coming in.
I agree. And I'm with you on that. And I feel as though if we could start thinking like that, then maybe moving forward, we'll start seeing things differently, especially for our lives. Because I do believe that that's one of the biggest issues in our lives is the fact that we hinder ourselves from growth. Understanding that sometimes it's the hand you dealt. You know, everybody likes to say, you know, a couple of years ago, there was a meme about that had little Duvall, and then it had Elon Musk, and I guess it was doing a year that they had picked a certain year of the pictures, and it was a young Elon Musk and a young Lil Duvall, and it was like, and Lil Duvall was partying. It was like, you know, it'd be like Something about being like Elon Musk and you could be a billionaire or something like that. And people had to set it straight and be like, well, technically Elon Musk came from money.
Right.
So what you're saying is that you come from money. Plus he's white, and I don't think you should ever compare a black person and a white person. Like a white person could snort cocaine in front of a whole room of people and get offered a six-figure job. A black person could sneeze and he'll be fired. So let's keep the tradition alive of keep. However, I do think that we do get to a point where stuff like that hinders us, and we just stop. I won't say trying. Amber Alerts work. It's a missing girl, 11 years old, Abigail. Please, if you see her, she's wearing blue jeans. But I do think that we do hinder ourselves in our growth because of how life hits us. And I think sometimes we just get short-sighted. So before Barack Obama, you'd be everything but president of the United States. That's what we used to tell each other.
Right.
And it took Barack Obama to break that for us. And it's one of those things like, man, could we have always been there if we actually put forth the effort?
Yeah. Yes. True. Look, everybody says with Jesse ran, and I just think Jesse. I think the only person I can think of around hand that really
Shirley.
Oh yeah, Shirley Chisholm.
Yeah.
She attempted. But to actually get as far as he did, is even a thing in itself. So, but with that being said, it took drive. Because you think about it, it's just not something he just walked into.
Right.
It's something he took upon himself that he wanted to do. And then everything he achieved or didn't achieve along the way, he accepted it. You think about it, he accepted it.
So, is it the fact that we don't accept failure?
Right. We don't accept the results, whether it's we achieve or we fail to achieve. You think about it, because a lot of times some people are more scared of being successful than they are than failing. Because when you think about it, a lot of times if they fail, they know they can let it go and then just let it fall by the wayside. A lot of people, they fail. The small percentage I keep telling you about, they do fail. They get back up and try it again.
Right.
And no matter what the next result, they fail again. And guess what? They get back and try it again. You know why? They rehearse what they did wrong each time, and they try to prevent it from happening again by doing something just a tad bit different.
So the question is it success in the result, or is it success in the first step? Does the success actually is it first step?
Like I said, success is, my opinion, is always success in the first step you take.
Right. I believe that, and I probably would have said no before, but now looking back at it, the first step is the success, because there are people who haven't done it.
No.
There's somebody right now who has not made the first step. Look at the videos we make, and
Right.
people be like, well, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this, you could do that. But the first step was just to cut on the camera and actually record. Right. This is the first step. So just the fact that, just doing the first step, now you can improve on every step moving forward. But the fact that you take the first step is the key. And I think that's the success, because it shows that you have the ability to do it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just, like I've always said, it's always, success is more the attempt than it is actually the result. Because if you get my thing is, if you fail, that means you gotta go back and tweak something.
Right.
But so if you succeed, what's to say the next step forward is not where you fail, because there's maybe something you didn't think of in the beginning, but you still push forward and you try again and keep trying. You don't want, like I said, I think we box ourselves in when we start thinking about, we start putting the what ifs as the determining factor of whether we're going to do it or not.
I do agree with you on that. I think that has been one of the biggest issues. And I even could look at my life and I could say, you know what, even though I could say, I've been very unpredictable, the most consistent thing is being cautious in my life. Like it may be an unpredictable way, but I'm cautious. Get the job that's going to pay. Make sure you get this set. Bam, 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 bam. Which is nothing wrong with, but sometimes you box yourself in to the point where you too safe. And I think at times I've been so safe that I didn't bet on myself.
Right.
And now I'm looking at it as I could say, talking to my younger self, and I'm like, you know what? Life is not over. So this is the second act.
Right.
Or it could be the third act. I don't know. It might be a fourth act.
Exactly.
But
and that's what the teacher taught us. There's many acts to your life if you want it to be. You know, whether you a drug addict, you become sober, you become a counselor, you become a motivational speaker, you become all these other,
right.
What's the next step? What's the next, it ain't gotta be major right away. You can do little things leading up to a major thing.
That's true.
And then when you get to that major thing, what's the next? If there's a next step, like I said, a lot of people, everybody thinks your goals and your success should be monetarily wealth based, but the only true wealth you should be concerned about is your mental, your physical, and your spiritual wealth. Because if you're not, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not invested in and built that up, you really don't have much of anything, because all that could be taken away from you. People don't understand that. If you don't have any kind of morals in your life, by all means, once that money goes away, what are you going to have? Because you have no morals, you have no kind of, no conscience, no awareness about yourself.
I do agree. So the second part of this is, if we took our lives serious, will we vet people more before we let them in our lives?
Ooh,
will we
vet the people that we actually let into our lives?
Let into our lives, and even will we let go of people more when we realize that our lives aren't as long spanned out? So, for instance, sometimes we have a habit of holding on to people, and I admit I do. Sometimes I'll reach out to people that I know I shouldn't reach out to, and I'll talk to people I probably shouldn't talk to. But
it's like that sometimes, man. But that's just you thinking too much and being too curious of if that person still has, the kind heart or the, that thing for you, in a sense, in some cases. So, I mean, you never know. Like I said, a lot of times I think it's just curiosity for some people. Mm-hmm. Some people like to try to go ahead and scratch that itch. I like to leave itches alone. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, I ain't scratching no itches or anything like that.
No, we ain't scratching, man. But it just saying in general, a lot of times what people do. That's all it is. Some people, oh, yeah, because I had an uncle, when he came to visit the area one time, he happened to, we were up a drive by where a neighborhood he used to live at. And he was saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to go see if so-and-so still lives at the house. This house, whatever. And it's a girl, it's a female now. And she, I hate to say it's cold blood what she did to him. They conversated. I was in the car ready to get to where I need to go to or whatever. Because I'm right around the corner from my grandparents' house. Because this is my mom's mom. My dad's grandparents. My dad's parents was around the corner. So, they have a conversation. He trying to get a hug, a little kiss from the girl. She gave him the number. He calls the number. It wasn't the right number. Yeah. He was thoroughly upset.
Yeah.
But, it's cool to relive it, but sometimes you got to let things be what it was.
No, I agree with you.
So, I mean, it's the same, like you said, do we need to? The people that hurt us most were the people that we probably vetted the hardest. They did what they could to meet the standard to allow them to get so close.
Okay, I agree with that, and but I do believe that if we took our lives a little more serious, we wouldn't waste our. And I hate to use this word, but we wouldn't waste our time trying to relive the past, or even trying to keep people in our lives that we know it's time to move on from. And I think that's where a lot of people have their issues. Because, like you said, you have that nostalgia moment, no matter who it is. It could be just you and an old friend,
or an ex-friend that hey,
let me see what they're up to. And ex-friends for a reason.
Yeah.
Family members, hey, it doesn't just stop, you know. Let me see what this family
They
member
call
does.
family for they should be called relatives to the family in that case.
Yeah. See?
So right. There is a difference.
Yes.
There is a difference.
And I think a lot of times that's what happens with us. We get into that mode where we start holding on to stuff. And one thing I'm realizing is that you brought it up with health, with your morals, spiritual life. Time is up there too. You don't get that back. So how you spend it is very important.
Right.
If you're spending it with people who don't, number one, don't appreciate your time. Number two, don't have your best interest, then all you're doing is wasting that time that you can't get back.
Right.
We can always get money back. We can make that money back.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of times, you know, but that's why it just infuriates me when we act up over something that always can come back to you, you know, especially if you've given it. And that's the thing that I don't mean to cut you off, that kills me, but any part of what you give, whether it's money, spiritual guidance, whatever, if it's given in a good intention and good natured intentions, or good nature and intentions, it'll always, because like you see, it's an investment that will return it on its own.
Right.
You know, it's going to be unexpected too. You know, so I mean, hey, I'm just talking.
No, I mean, and that's why I say, you know, that's what really came out is the fact, you know, you start recalibrating your life and you start looking at things like, okay, if I take the 10% I was putting here, and if I, you know, reallocate it over here, would the result be different? Right. And you start seeing how you're allocating your time, energy, and effort and everything. And you start realizing sometimes you put things into people that you shouldn't be putting things into people. You shouldn't be putting time and effort. And I know a lot of people be like, well, no, it's not wrong with saying hi. It's not wrong with saying hi. However, how often does hi turn into a conversation? How often does conversation turn into whatever else? And that's not just saying that, you know, it's with girl, it's with a guy too, with family. You know, even thinking about your old job, you start thinking like, oh man, and you start reminiscing, and next thing you know, you go back to your old job. It's your old job for a reason. But I think we end up going backwards.
Yeah, true, very true. Very, very true. Like you said, we get nostalgic about the good things you did, good and bad at that job, and you felt that, oh, I should never let that job in the first place. You know, I could have been this, that, and the other, but no, like you said, I'm no longer there for a reason. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, don't want you really say or do, man.
Yeah. So that's what really brought this up, was the fact of watching that movie. And then, like I said, big picture.
Watching a corny movie and
it was
sometimes it's like that though.
Yeah, it was really bad. I'm sitting there, and what really got me was when it opens up, I'm wondering why this woman is like really having a sex conversation with this girl, Oh, right. And I'm sitting there like, is that your daughter? You like really talking to your daughter about having sex with people? You talking to your daughter like that? It's like and then come to find out that was her younger self. I was like, okay.
So the younger self goes back and live life.
No,
or they
die. The asteroid comes. She sits at the pool and accepts who she is. Oh, okay. And I think that's what it was. She did not accept who she was.
So more or less, these younger selves were more or less, they were trying to relive everything through them, but thinking the end result is going to go back and change.
Right.
Anything back up to the moment they're in now. But no, actually, she was just there more or less to relive the life and live a life before her own eyes, more or less.
Yes.
Okay.
And,
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the end. Yeah, you said it sounds kind of corny, but then, you know, the lesson is there, though.
So I have to bring this up because you always bring this to my attention, and now I'm starting to see it more and more. So they had one black guy in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one black guy. And
he was like a successful person.
His character, I guess, was successful. He messed around with multiple women and things like that. I guess she was mad at him because he had cheated on her multiple times. But it was weird because in the conversation, he was like, I know you don't like riding the Brown Railroad and this and the third. And she liked the Brown Railroad. And this is like Brown Railroad. Did this guy like the Brown Railroad? And I was like, wait, say what? Yo, sometimes this girl, and he kept saying it like that and then going back, you know, and I'm like, why couldn't you just be just a just a regular man who just happened to just cheat on this woman with a woman?
Right.
Why you had to be cheating on her with everybody?
Right.
And
He's a black man.
That's what I was saying. The black, I mean, you
be the promiscuous. Okay.
Yes. So
promiscuous black monkey. I can't.
Yeah, that's. I'm like, dang. Of all the characters, now the only visible black male with a speaking role was that particular character. Yes, it was weird. It was weird. But you brought up some, and I think we should end it on this one. Is we went years of trying to prove that we were more than just entertainers and musicians and everything to be in the position of that's all we want to be.
Right.
Why? Because there was a point in time where we fought to get that stigma off of us. We fought to be doctors. We fought to be lawyers, engineers. We fought to be seen outside of somebody that can tell a joke.
We start. Soldier Boy was one reason. All jokes aside.
No, not Big Soldier.
Come on, man. Not
Draco.
Big Draco. and not to be mean or anything like that. He's just an example.
No, I understand.
It's the fact that things like fame and notoriety has become accessible. You know, it's not something you can just work up to now. Now you instantly, all you need is that one moment to go viral. And it's so instantaneous.
Okay. I can see you're right on that.
You think about it. Think about when did you hear about Zion Williams?
I hear. Wow.
You hear about him to the senior year.
Yeah, and actually though is the fact that he was like 6'6" on.
I'm sorry, not senior. It's late junior year.
Yeah, and he was on top of this. Well, not pause.
Right.
It was this little white boy, and this little white boy was standing right beside him. Yeah, that's the first I heard of.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We it's like now we put a price on our souls, in a sense, our integrity. You know.
Okay.
Our culture. You think about it, and you think about it, and then regardless of how successful you say you are, you degrade yourself, you dumb yourself down to the lowest degree possible, that without just upright run around with the blackface on. And like I said, and it bothers me sometimes to think that we went from, say for instance, music, talking about uplifting, right. Ain't nothing wrong. We had the braggadocious rappers, the hard, the My Adidas, Go Chain, but you also had, like I said, you had De La Soul, you had KRS-One, Public Enemy, you had your Run DMCs, you had your Nicest Moves, to your NWAs, Snoop Dogg's, whatever. You had a variety. To now that the records are being, records, music only being played at one tone. It's a very monotonous way of how things are done. Everybody's going in the same direction. Nobody's trying to, it's sort of like the Loki thing, Everybody's trying to, nobody's trying to branch off, right. and to do their own multiverse. Everybody's just trying to stay on the one path. And we as parents, the generations before these younger bucks come along, we okay with it because why? We benefit from it. Immediately benefit from it. There's no real, you think about it, it's not a real investment. It's more like you putting turf down as opposed to you growing actual grass. Okay.
I agree with that. I do agree that a lot of our children will probably be different if they were allowed to be different. I think a lot of them would want to be other than entertainers, and I think it has become a problem because now you have more people who want to do that, right? And it's like, wait a second. I mean, at one point
it doesn't take much effort,
and that's what bothers me because at one point we fought to
be recognized as scientists,
yes, like
physicists, politicians,
we fought for that, like
doctors. And it's like now, even though we still have them doing them, but we should be at a greater rate now with people willingly, willing to be doctors, willing to be, and there's nothing wrong with being an actor, but that's at the same time, people know you can actually go to college for acting.
All right.
Some of the biggest colleges in the country have the most highly looked up to programs in the country, if not the world.
Yeah, and one thing I always say, the world ended. You ain't gonna run to an actor. You're gonna run to a doctor.
You're gonna run to the scientist.
You're gonna run to the scientist.
You're gonna run to the rapper.
Exactly. I mean,
you ain't gonna run to the vlogger. You ain't gonna run to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, hey, you better cover and duck. Hope for the best.
Yes, I thought that was interesting because you just see an onslaught of people wanting to be, and what brought this to my mind was Monica has a coworker who's who's taking leave to go see one of her family members graduate from medical school.
That's what's up.
And I wonder, how many Black people could say that they seen someone in their family graduate from.
And that's a hell of an achievement. Medical school is not
exactly
easy.
How many of
us
not
can college, say that. Medical school.
Exactly. And that's where I'm at with it. Like, do we have that point in our lives where we see people like that? Because we say representation is important.
It is. But like I said, we don't push ourselves the way we should as a whole, as a culture, not in music, just as a culture. We got away from that. We should be pushing more of our kids, encourage them, let them decide. But at the same time, look, we got away from saying, hey, it don't hurt to go to college, get your degree. And if you get your degree in whatever it is you decide to go to school in, and if you decide to turn around, you decide to become a rapper or the world's biggest drug dealer, by all means, that's fine. But remember, you got something they can't take away from you. That's true. And then people, they don't understand, these are things they can take away from you: being an entertainer, being an athlete, being an Instagram model. Because come on, man, these things can it's just easy as they come. They can go just as quicker.
That's true. I do agree with you on that.
You think about it. Kim Kardashian is almost on the last 2 minutes of her 15 minutes of fame, maybe. And not to say that she's going to go away, but then it's going to be a thing to where she got to continue to do something in order to stay and stay out there.
And if you ask Ray J, like, yes, she's trying to use me to stay out there because he let it be known. So I do agree with you on that. Yeah. Black China about to fight someone.
So I mean, like I said, we, and it's not we all should want to be in front of the camera. We all shouldn't want to be out front. No, we all, what I'm saying, that, and that's the thing. We're too busy. A lot of us now want to be seen because it's the thing, because we see how it benefits people. You go places, people recognize you, want your autograph, they'll let you eat for free. You might get a free shirt, hey, you might get a free card, you might drive, you might host a couple of events, something like that. It's cool, man. But like I said, what is the next step? Because you got to think about it, you got to continue to do things to stay in that public eye.
That's true.
Whether it's slapping Chris Rock on stage, or you change your name to Love and you call yourself, you're no longer human, you are frequency. Oh yeah, he said he's beyond human form now. He's a frequency. And so your boy P. Diddy, he said he's not a frequency. He's beyond human form. He can do whatever he wants to do. He's a frequency. Yeah. Maybe just trying to say he's fluid in so many ways. I don't know. Hey, that's his choice. That's how he wants to live. By all means, I have no,
Wow, he's a frequency.
He's a frequency. So you can be a frequency too, my son. Whenever you're good and ready, let me know. He's beyond human form. So hey, you don't have to longer eat.
I'm human.
You don't have to sleep. Matter of fact, you need to get on the plane to go. You need to go. Don't you just show up and just be there. Now I don't know how your daughter's going to be there. You might need to show her how to be a frequency as well. But
we live in the now.
Live in the now.
Okay. All right. And I always say that's what happens with Black people. Reach a certain amount of fame, they forget that they're Black.
But like I said, we we accept that our kids, that our generations give up and take the easy path as far as challenging them and them challenging themselves, at the highest levels of education. Nothing wrong with that being an athlete, but what else is gonna be to you? Because that's what would be my kids. Like, okay, cool, you can do this basketball, but what else is gonna be after beyond basketball?
Right.
What you think you're gonna be? What if you don't make the NBA? Now if you decide to become a sportscaster, okay, so you're gonna go to journalism school?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
And like I said, and journalism school is competitive, just as competitive as law school.
Yeah.
Because the jobs are not out there like they used to be.
True. Print is dead.
Print, it didn't say dead, it's just very obsolete.
Right.
It still has a place, it's very obsolete. They don't invest in print as much as they used to. It's more or less for our generation, is for the present generation.
True.
Because the crazy thing about it is, I tell a lot of people don't go to journalism school, they do them articles, because the grammar is off, their spelling is off, their sentences don't flow. I just be shaking my head sometimes.
Yeah.
Or they didn't pay attention enough in journalism school.
I agree, because that's how you. I agree.
So you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So I mean, in order to go to be a journalist, man, you got to be good at English.
Yeah.
You got to be some kind of, either way, some kind of public speaking. I know I'm not the best at public speaking, but still, man, hey, these are things that we need to get back into. Encourage our kids. Nothing wrong with them learning the latest and greatest dances. But at the same time, you making sure, hey, that's not the path we're trying to push it down, the latest and greatest on TikTok. No, get their ass on TikTok and get their asses in the classroom. Hey, during the summertime, hey, do what my mom used to do with me. My mom used to run her own academic boot camp during the summertime. So in the morning we got up, we ate, we did some kind of lesson, whether it's an English lesson, a math lesson, some kind of lesson. And then we take a test. A comprehension test, a spelling test, word association test, math test.
That's why I say competitive.
Yeah. We got away from that. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with taking your kids to Disney World and all that. But like I said, we're not pushing them like we should. We're not staying on like it should, because we feel, like I said, everything should be given. They should be able to get into that school. They should be in the same class as this kids. Hey, he should be going to that college.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Well, that's it for this evening, man. Got anything you want to add?
No, that's it, man. That's it.
We apologize
for
the Matrix. We do apologize.
Don't apologize to me. Got a little something I wrote down today. And don't take it in the wrong way when I read this. But these are things that when I read it, it's things that can help in a good way. These are on a positive. If you take it, that can make you or break you in a good and a positive way. Real quick before you know.
No, right.
So let's go. 10 things that require zero talent. Being on time. Work ethic. Effort. Energy. Attitude. Passion. Being coachable. Doing extra. And being prepared. Being prepared and body language.
Okay. I agree with everyone.
Zero talent and it's very, very little. Costs you very little.
And it could bring you everything.
It could bring you everything.
I agree.
You think about it. On the positive end, you do those things for the right reasons, the right note, positively, they get you in the right. It'll
I like that
direction.
I like that. I like ending on that. I like that.
All right.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna end on right there.
All right, I like that. Matter of fact, yeah. Every day, try one and see what happens.
Just say, try one. That's my challenge. Everybody, try one of them. Being on time. If you haven't been on time, try being on time.
As Black people, that's the stigma.
And then work on your work ethic.
Yeah.
Something. Something you need to work on every day. Something.
I agree.
Something.
I like
These
that.
are things you can work on. And like I said, don't require much.
Okay, I like that.
All right. That's what I'm ending on. I'm sorry about, I ain't gonna let that, like I wrote it down for a reason. So,
and we're gonna give you a show tomorrow. So stay tuned. No more glitches. We'll be good. Maybe that was Kevin Samuels coming through the thing.
Samuel's coming back. Yo, okay. Come on back. Come on back, brother. They don't know what's going on the other side.
Give us a makeover. Honestly, despite how I feel about him, I wish his family the best. But one thing I think we should talk about tomorrow is how people use death for profit.
Okay.
It could be
a subtopic. We'll come with a title. We'll come with something.
I think it should be a subtopic, but I think it's something we should address.
I'm good with that. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with today. I ain't gonna say what I usually say. That's what I'm leaving with today. And apply one of those to the stuff I've been saying before. Yes. What I've been saying every time we close out.
And on that note, we're out. Be blessed.